Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your trusted source for in-depth political analysis and commentary on the latest developments shaping South Africa. Today, we dive into a major legal and political development that could have wide-reaching implications for President Cyril Ramaphosa, the controversial National Health Insurance Bill, and the very future of South Africa's healthcare system. In a stunning turn of events, the Pretoria High Court has ordered President Ramaphosa to hand over all documents and records that informed his decision to support the National Health Insurance Bill. This ruling came after the civil rights group Solidarity approached the court, arguing that the president's intent to sign the bill into law was irrational, possibly unconstitutional, and ignored critical input from experts and key stakeholders. Let's unpack what this means, why it matters, and what the broader implications could be, not just for the healthcare sector, but for democratic accountability in South Africa as a whole. Now, to be clear, despite widespread reports and headlines suggesting otherwise, the presidency has confirmed that the NHI bill has not officially been signed into law. President Ramaphosa has merely expressed his intention to do so. But that hasn't stopped Solidarity from taking swift legal action. They want the president to reveal exactly what information he had before making such a consequential decision. Solidarity argues that the NHI bill, in its current form, is fundamentally flawed. They believe it will devastate South Africa's already strained healthcare system, trigger a mass exodus of skilled medical professionals, and place an unbearable tax burden on ordinary South Africans. According to them, the bill promises universal healthcare but offers little practical detail on how it will actually function, especially in a country already struggling with budget deficits, corruption, and infrastructure decay. What's especially alarming to critics is that multiple warnings were issued before the bill reached this stage. Medical experts, health economists, professional bodies, and private sector stakeholders all raised red flags. They warned about the potential collapse of the private healthcare sector, which currently carries a huge portion of the country's healthcare load. Business organizations cautioned about the economic consequences, and legal experts questioned the bill's constitutionality. Yet, according to Solidarity, these warnings were ignored. By ordering President Ramaphosa to hand over a detailed record of his decision-making process, the court has effectively taken a stand for transparency. This means that within 15 days of the ruling, the president must submit every memo, report, advisory note, and communication that influenced his position on the bill. This is not just a procedural step, it's a constitutional moment. It shows that no one, not even the president, is above scrutiny. South Africa's democracy depends on a clear separation of powers, and this court decision reaffirms the judiciary's role as a check on executive authority. Now let's look a little closer at what the NHI bill actually proposes. The aim is to establish a single, state-run health financing system to provide equal access to healthcare services for all South Africans. On the surface, it sounds noble. Who wouldn't want a fair and inclusive healthcare system where everyone receives quality treatment, regardless of income? But critics argue that this is a dream without a roadmap. The bill offers no credible funding model. It doesn't adequately address how to retain skilled professionals, and it places almost total control in the hands of the state, raising fears of mismanagement, inefficiency, and corruption. Given the government's poor track record in managing state-owned enterprises like Eskom, SAA, and Transnet, those fears are not without merit. Moreover, the Department of Health has not been able to fully clarify how existing private healthcare will be integrated or replaced. There's concern that the bill will effectively nationalize the sector without proper compensation or planning, triggering lawsuits, job losses, and even capital flight. Solidarity is not alone in this fight. Several other civil society organizations, business groups, and healthcare providers are preparing to challenge the bill in court. This means we could see a massive legal battle unfold over the next few months, potentially even reaching the Constitutional Court. What's also interesting is how this legal move intersects with the broader political climate. With elections looming, the ANC is under pressure to deliver on long-promised social reforms. Pushing the NHI could be a populist move meant to win votes. But if that comes at the cost of economic stability and constitutional compliance, the consequences could be severe. There's also the question of timing. South Africa's healthcare system is still reeling from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hospitals are underfunded, medical professionals are overworked, and there's growing dissatisfaction among healthcare workers. Adding a complex and potentially unworkable system like the NHI into this fragile environment could backfire spectacularly. Let's not forget the fiscal implications. Implementing the NHI could cost the country hundreds of billions of rand. Where will that money come from? Tax hikes? Cuts to other services? Increased borrowing? None of these are easy options in a country already battling unemployment, inflation, and low growth. To many observers, this court ruling is more than just about one bill. It's about holding power to account. It's about making sure that decisions that affect millions of lives are not made in a vacuum. It's about respecting the constitutional duty to consult, to inform, and to consider all relevant input, especially when the stakes are this high. Solidarity's legal action may very well determine the future of the NHI, but it's also a test case for how South Africa's democracy functions under pressure. Are we a country where executive decisions are made behind closed doors? Or are we a democracy where leaders are expected to justify their choices in the open? And that's the big question going forward. What will the president's documents reveal? Will they show a robust consultation process? Or will they expose a rushed, politically motivated decision that ignored expert advice? Either way, one thing is clear, the fight over the NHI is far from over. And in the coming weeks, we can expect more legal challenges, more political fallout, and more debate about what kind of healthcare system South Africa truly needs. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And let us know in the comments, do you think the NHI bill is the solution South Africa needs, or is it a disaster waiting to happen? See you next time.